I'm very comfortable right now. I was like, should I move for this YouTube video? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Comfort over anything, really. Hi. As a disclaimer, I would just like to begin the video by saying that I do not promote drug use in any way, especially LSD, because it can be very, very dangerous and damaging for your brain, especially at a young age. This video is for educational purposes only. But basically, I'm making this YouTube video to talk to you guys about acid and different types of trips you can have while on the psychedelic drug. Particularly ego death. This is from my own personal experience, so I'm not saying that every trip is going to be the same. It absolutely is not going to be the same, but I have talked to people about my experience and they have been able to relate to at least one or two things that happened to me while I was on it. So I've dabbled in the usage of LSD 4 times before my ego death happened. So I was with my friend who does LSD quite a lot. He has friends who are dealers, everything like that. And so he got the tabs really easily. He was like, do you want to go up to Whangarei? Basically, it's like 2 hours away from my hometown. We went up there just to stay overnight, then come down by the morning and then come back home. Because I've done it before, so I wasn't scared or anything. I didn't think anything would go wrong. But it did. It was a really good experience. I was able to learn from it. It was eye-opening. It was a life-changing experience, you know. It was crazy. So I dropped a tab. 3 hours into my trip, I was fine. We were at the nice little park, looking at the water. The colours started to get really vibrant. The greens were so green, the blue sky, and the reflection on the lake was beautiful. Everything was so beautiful. I was just enjoying my visuals, what I was hearing, what I could smell, and what I could feel. This is in the day, bearing in mind. So we dropped it at like 5 in the afternoon. And it started to get dark at around 7:30. That was all fun. The first 3 hours, fun. We're driving in this guy's car. He's tripping. He was like, oh, the car is a part of me. I can feel the car. The fuck? So I don't know why I trusted him to drive while tripping, but we trusted him, so we are driving along this road in Whangarei. I don't know where the fuck I am. And then we get to a sesh spot. So we're about to have a cone. It's like a bong hit. Because I thought I'd be able to handle it, and so did he, I guess. We get to the spot and we're still tripping, like looking at the scenic, and we're like, wow, this is beautiful. Even more beautiful because of my acid. I was like, fuck it, let's have a cone. Let's literally light this shit up. He gets out all the equipment, the bong, the fucking chop bowl, the grinder, the weed, and he starts chopping up. So I literally get this shit. So easy to have a bong when you're on acid, when you're tripping. So I get it, I'm like, legit 5 seconds after I sink the cone, I was like, can you feel that? All this electricity's rushing through my body. My friend goes, yeah, we're synchronizing. And I look at him and I was like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, it felt like our minds, like my mind and his mind, go up into the galaxy, interlock, like we're literally, like we're synchronizing, like interlock like that. All of this electricity surged through my body and just like made a whole like explosion in me. I was gone. All of my sensations were fucked up, to say the least. I was like, do you feel what I'm feeling, bro? That's when my body didn't feel real. I started to forget who I was. I had no recollection of my past. I'm looking in front of me and there's literally, it's like a Minecraft like simulation, like flat grass, like solid colours, everything is solid, like solid blues for the lake, solid green for the grass, like literally like a Minecraft simulation, but like a whole world, and I was able to walk around and interact with things in it. And I see this alien and he comes up to me and he goes, this is your world now, this is where you live. And I was like, no it's not, like I live on Earth. And he was, no, you have to forget all about that I'm sorry. And then I started to hallucinate me screaming like, ah, just running back and forth, like, get me out. And I would have looked fucked up to someone who was normal, like, because I was literally like, I didn't want to be here. I felt trapped. I felt like I was never going to be able to escape. I'd never get back from that. And then I was like, I'm really gonna have to just deal with this. I'm gonna have to just immerse myself with this weird alien planet. That's when I realized, I was like, bro, I'm having an ego death. My whole ego transcended to a different world, a different dimension. And when that hallucination started to fade away, I started to hallucinate that the driver was a robot and we were not moving anywhere, not going anywhere. We had no sense of purpose in the world. It makes me feel fucked up just talking about it. Like, literally makes me feel, why did I do this? I don't know. Like, I'm literally killing my brain cells for no reason. I start to hallucinate that he's a robot. At one point, started driving, was trying to drive me home because I literally needed to be couch ridden, like bedridden, just stay in the bed and you're just like, it's actually incomprehensible to someone who's not experienced what this is like. It's so difficult to explain. I wasn't a human. I was literally I didn't know my name. I didn't know where I came from. Tripping about the concept of parents and where we come from. I was like, what is a mum? I kept saying that like 10 times. I was like, what's a mum? What does mum mean? And I was like, what are parents? Who am I? I sounded like I fucking lost my mind, because I did lose my mind. At some point, I'd go into the seat and I'd just go like this and hide my eyes. I didn't want to see anything, because if I looked up, I'd get the most fucked up hallucinations of me in a mental asylum, like going like rocking back and forth, like what have I done to myself? My mum came to visit me at the mental asylum. It was eye-opening because, you know, I've dabbled in like drugs like in my childhood, and it's pretty bad. It's something I do feel guilty about. Having acid really like face you with those realities and what you've actually done that's bad. It was fucked up. It made me feel so guilty. I was looking out the front window, staring out wide-eyed, like the whole front window of the car, just a rainbow going in. So to a particular point, it was like, this was all rainbow, then it was like a black dot, and that's where we were heading. That's where we were driving to. And it felt like my friend was stuck on repeat, because he was like, don't worry, we're going home now. But he kept saying it over and over again. He was like, don't worry, we're going home now. I was like, you've already said that like 10 times. I think you're broken. And then we kept driving and I was like, I'm literally inside a glitch. And then I was like, no, you're not real. And I turned around, I grabbed for the steering wheel, and I was like about to swerve, and my friend's like, what the fuck are you doing? And like pushed me to the side, and I was like, bro, I'm out of control. So I just go like this, because I didn't know what to do with myself. Another thing that happened, I started falling into different realities. I wanted to get out of the car because I wanted to walk around, attempt to walk it off. It's impossible to walk off an acid trip, you know? So I get out of the car and it felt like I was falling in different ways into different realities. The first reality was everyone had big heads, and I was like, everyone's got big heads, and then I'd start being like, no, this isn't real, and then I'd come back, and I'd fall down into a different reality, and they'd have big ears, everyone would be upside down, everyone's conversations would be Chinese. It's not just your hallucinations that are strange either, it's the way your whole body feels. You just have the biggest sense of self, but the biggest sense of no self at the same time. And anyway, when we got back to his house in Whangarei, his dad's house, because his dad lives there, I got into bed. Wasn't going to be able to sleep after that. I try though, I'm trying to close my eyes and just get somewhere out of my head. I kept getting visuals of like a train going into an abyss, and then someone getting smacked with a hammer and going, wee, like in the cartoon. I'm editing this back, and I realized that sounds like really fucking weird. Basically, it was like, envision an animated person with like Z's coming out of their head and just blackness all around them. It was basically symbolizing someone knocked out, and that's how I felt. My mind made it make sense to me. As I say, it is hard to really relate if you haven't experienced an acid trip before. That was what I was like, if you know what I mean. Like, I was passed out off this acid trip and the guy was passed out from this fucking hammer. It's just what my mind created. I thought there was a person in the corner of the room for about half an hour and I didn't care. I was just lying in my bed staring at it, just not really sure about anything, just staring at this person in my room. Kept getting visuals of things interlocking, like chests. If you've ever played Fireboy and Water Girl on Friv, it's like when you get to choose like the little diamonds like symbolizing the levels. That's literally what I saw in my mind while I was trying to sleep. This happened about maybe 3 weeks ago now. I have forgotten a lot of what happened on the trip. The thing that I will remember the most is that feeling of just pure insanity, the feeling that nothing matters. Literally nothing fucking matters. So stop giving a fuck and start being yourself. You have to have some sort of goals in life, otherwise what's it all for? You may as well kill yourself. But if you kill yourself, you'll probably go to another dimension anyway. Enjoy this dimension while you're here, make the fucking most out of it. So yeah, this is my first YouTube video, but if you'd like to see any more of my experiences or anything like that, I've got some good stories that I could share. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.